Okay, so good afternoon to all. I hope everyone is doing good. Today we are going to see about the categories of the stroke. So far we have discussed about what is stroke, which are the risk factor, what happens in the stroke and the clinical features. Now we are going to define stroke according to the blood vessels or the large artery occlusions. So જે પણ arteries occlude થાય છે, depending on that we are going to see which are the types of stroke. Yes, so it may be, as we have described, the three major arteries: anterior cerebral, middle cerebral, posterior cerebral. Also internal carotid as a whole can be occluded, vertebral artery be occluded. All these arteries together, they individually have their own signs and symptoms. So which are they, we are going to discuss today. And the last part, that will be treatment part, that following after this. Yes, so we are going to first describe about the categories according to the vascular involvement. So first important term is transient ischemic attack, or TIA in short. Yes, any episode of focal neurological symptoms due to inadequate blood supply to him that resolves within 24 hours and leave no residual effects, that is termed as transient ischemic attack. So as a whole, you can say whenever the patient is complaining stroke, you can see all the 5 early signs. You can see he is having hemiplegia, but within 24 hours, if all the symptoms disappear, yes, જો બધા જ symptoms 24 hours માં વયા જાય, then it is termed as transient ischemic attack. Yes, what is the cause of this? આવું શું કામ થાય? Yes, so first is the occlusion episode. The patient has occlusion at a point, but that becomes dislodged and it moves away or washes out with the blood flow. So initially ક્યાંય પણ એક occlusion હશે, ક્યાંય પણ એક block હશે, એ blood flow ના લીધે, blood pressure ના લીધે ત્યાંથી વયું જાય. Yes, so that is the first cause કે clear થઈ ગયું blood ને, પાછું brain ને blood મળવા માંડ્યું. That means it will be normal. The patient will be normal within 24 hours. The most important thing is to know the time. 24 hours is crucial. 24 hours થી વધારે જો ઈ લાગે, then it is termed as stroke. If it is less than 24 hours, sign and symptom બધા જ normal થઈ જાય, then it is transient ischemic attack, or TIA. Second, if there is an embolus. Yes, so if there is an emboli that is causing deterioration and that emboli moves away from the brain. Yes, the same thing like occlusive episode. So ક્યાંય પણ occlusion હતું, it clear થઈ ગયું, or embolus હતું and it goes off with the blood flow. So the brain will get the normal amount of blood and that will again cause normal signs and symptoms will disappear. Arrhythmias. If the patient is having arrhythmias because of arrhythmias, what is arrhythmia? We had discussed arrhythmia means unsynchronous activity of the heart. Yes, first of all, the atrial or the atrium should relax so that it comes in the heart atrium. Then it should contract, the same time ventricles should relax. Then only the blood goes into the ventricles, and then both the atrium and ventricle contract and then both relax. Yes, so then the blood goes into the systemic circulation. When the blood goes into the systemic circulation, it will go to internal carotid artery, move to the brain. So because of the normal rhythm of the heart is changed, because atrium and ventricle are not in sync, acting in sync, જે rhythm માં contract થવા જોઈએ નથી થતું, that means ventricle માં enough amount of blood નથી, enough amount of blood નથી pump કરવા માટે, તો systemic circulation માં ઓછું જશે, એના લીધે brain ને ઓછું મળશે. જો તમે directly arrhythmias ને normal કરી દો, yes, through providing stimulation from outside or through a pacemaker, then there are chances the patient was showing the symptoms of stroke, that will be normal, that will be gone. Decrease cardiac output. Think so cardiac output ochu hoy and you try to improve the cardiac output itself, that is more amount of blood in the systemic circulation. So if more amount of blood is there in the systemic circulation, it will be helpful for the brain to absorb or circulate more amount of blood in the vessels. So it is more easier and the patient will lose the sign and symptom whatever he or she had developed because of lack of blood. If there is hypotension, yes, if overall the blood pressure decreases, blood pressure decrease થાય, so શું થશે? There will be again less amount of blood reaching the brain. So if you decrease the hypotension or increase the blood pressure, that will again help maintain and bring the situation normal for that individual. And last, subclavian steal sound. So when subclavian artery itself is not sufficient or has a part of it not supplying the enough amount of blood to the brain. If you clear off that part, it will be normal. Yes. So these are the reasons for transient ischemic attack. Transient ischemic attack means stroke આવ્યું patient 24 hours ma he or she will be again normal. All the sign and symptom go away. That is transient ischemic attack. Yes. Other main categories are major stroke and deteriorating stroke. Major stroke means presence of stable, usually severe impairments, and deteriorating means, as the name suggests, refers to the patient with deteriorating neurological status after admission to the hospital. So major strokes mean presence of, there is hemodynamically the patient is now stable, but they have severe impairments. Yes, એકવાર patient admit થઈ ગયું હોસ્પિટલમાં તો blood pressure, our all vitals become normal, they are stable, but the impairment is severe. One half of the body is affected, hemiplegia હશે, sensory loss હશે. All this leads to major portion affection of the patient, that is major stroke. Deteriorating means even after the patient has been admitted to the hospital, the status, neurological status keeps deteriorating. Yes, only one half of the hand was not affected, now whole hand is not is affected now. Lower limb is affected, maybe all four limbs are affected, and it keeps deteriorating. Yes, the only reason for deteriorating stroke is increase in intracranial pressure. Jo intracranial pressure vadse, it will lead to more and more damage to the brain. Brain is a structure, yes, jelly-like structure that is present in the cavity of skull. Skull ma jelly-like structure is present in the skull. Yes, if skull is a predefined area, it is a bone, it cannot increase or decrease in size. Yes, if fixed area છે, structure ekdam stiff છે, it cannot increase or decrease in size. So the patient, whenever they feel whenever there is stroke in a patient, intracranial pressure increases. Intracranial pressure so વધશે, that means less space માં pressure વધતું જાય છે. જો pressure વધે તો એક એરિયા ના લીધે જગ્યાએ ડેમેજ થાય. યસ, એક એરિયામાં સ્ટ્રોક થયું, સ્ટ્રોક ના લીધે intracranial pressure વધ્યું. intracranial pressure વધશે એટલે કે જે જગ્યા છે ની અંદર, that is encompassing the brain, that will again be affected. Yes, e space માં વધારેમાં વધારે pressure થશે. pressure શું કામ વધશે? Because the CSF. Yes, ક્યાંય પણ injury થાય તો inflammation થાય. inflammation નું sign છે swelling. swelling થશે, એના લીધે બીજી જગ્યાએ brain માં આવશે. Yes, and this cycle goes on. So the patient keeps deteriorating. Yes, so to prevent this or to stop the deteriorating stroke, there is utmost need of doing a craniotomy. Yes, remove a part of the skull and relieve the intracranial pressure. That is the only way that you can stop deteriorating stroke. This was about transient ischemic attack and major portions, that is you can say major stroke, deteriorating stroke. Now coming to large vessel occlusion, that is our main vessels, that may be ICA, that may be ACA, MCA, PCA and others we are going to discuss. So first coming to ICA occlusion, internal carotid artery. Yes, internal carotid artery directly affect થઈ જાય તો શું થશે? So the patient may be asymptomatic in the initial stages, and later it will lead to catastrophic infarction. Yes, in extreme cases, in the long run, whenever it starts, yes, first there is always development of a thrombus embolus through the atherosclerosis, the disease of atherosclerosis. Yes, the lumen of the artery becomes narrower and narrower, and finally it becomes so occluded it does not allow even passage of the blood. So when it does not allow the passage of the blood, all the parts distal to the blood supply of the internal carotid artery will be affected, will be lost. Yes, because the blood is not reaching the brain, and that part will be affected. In extreme cases, deterioration of conscious level, the patient become unconscious, completely may go into coma. Second, homonymous hemianopia of the contralateral side. As we already discussed, one half of the vision is lost. Contralateral hemiplegia, yes, one half, opposite half of the body is going for paralysis, complete paralysis, hemiplegia. Hemisensory disturbances, palsy to the opposite. So again, one half of the body will go for sensory loss. Partial Horner syndrome on ipsilateral side. Horner syndrome is nothing but when face and the eye specifically do not get normal blood supply, and because of this the nerves are affected. Yes, facial nerve, trigeminal nerve and optic nerve, these three nerves, when they are affected they are termed as Horner syndrome. Global aphasia, if dominant hemisphere is affected, global is combination of Wernicke's and Broca. Yes, as we have already discussed in the clinical features. And absent carotid pulsation, because internal carotid artery is not receiving any amount of blood, there will be no carotid pulsation. Carotid ma pulse જ નહીં આવે naturally. Yes, where do you palpate the carotid pulse?
Neck region.
Neck region. Be somewhat specific. That is true in the neck, but where?
Sternocleidomastoid region.
Near sternocleidomastoid. Sternocleidomastoid covers a big area. Which region? Sternocleidomastoid.
Anterior border of sternocleidomastoid.
Anterior border of sternocleidomastoid. Okay. So you can say it is just proximal to sternocleidomastoid muscle in the upper part of the SCM. Yes, there you palpate your carotid pulsation. હવે ICA, that is internal carotid artery માં blood જ નથી આવતું તો carotid pulse નહીં જ આવે naturally. Yes, so that is ICA occlusion. Prodromal symptoms, that is initial symptoms. So amaurosis fugax and transient hemisensory or hemimotor disturbance. Amaurosis fugax thing, but when you cannot see with one or patient is not able to see with one or both eyes due to lack of blood to the nerve eye itself. Yes, eyes or optic nerve ne blood supply hamper થઈ જાય અને patient જોઈ ના શકે in one or both the eyes, that termed as amaurosis fugax. And transient hemisensory or hemimotor disturbance. Outcome depends on the collateral blood supply, that is meningeal branches, ACA, MCA and ophthalmic artery, ICA. So if one side of ICA is affected, say for example right side internal carotid is affected, એના લીધે એવું નહીં થાય કોઈ દિવસ કે તમે right side આખું brain damage થઈ જાય. Why? Because we know circle of Willis. Yes, from the left ICA there is development of MCA, ACA and PCA, and that communicate anterior communicating arteries, posterior communicating arteries and the basilar artery. After the branches of the basilar artery, they can compensate for the loss of the complete ICA also of one side. Yes, એટલે એક side જો ICA હશે તો ACA, MCA and the communicating arteries from the basilar artery formed by the vertebral arteries will be able to compensate some portion of the collateral blood supply to the brain. Yes, so એવું કોઈ દિવસ નહીં થાય. That is why circle of Willis is important. That is why the assignment was given, because once you understand that both ICA are, if any one is affected, the other will be able to compensate the brain also, but not completely. Yes, because you need high amount of pressure for communicating arteries to transfer the blood to opposite side also. So it is utmost important that you understand that circle of Willis is a protective mechanism given by God to us. Yes, if complete branch is also occluded, opposite side will be able to compensate for it. So outcome depends mainly on the collateral blood supply. Coming to important ACA, anterior cerebral artery. Yes, so proximal occlusion usually well tolerated because of the cross flow, because the communicating artery, anterior communicating artery specifically, anterior portion of the communicating arteries, they are completely flourished. So બંને side ACA છે એ communicate કરશે અને proximally they are more connected. તો proximally એક side જો occlude થઈ જાય તો opposite side નું ACA ને easily provide કરી શકશે. Yes, so proximal occlusion usually well tolerated because of cross flow. This cross flow is from the communicating arteries. Second, distal occlusion results in hemiplegia and hemisensory loss. Lower limb is more affected than upper limb and incontinence. Urine incontinence is there. So proximal that we saw, it is easily tolerated. Kai signs and symptoms nahi ave, ઘણાને naturally પણ blocked હોય છે. Yes, distal part, Distal occlusion results in hemiplegia and hemisensory loss. Symptoms क्या होते हैं? Lower limb में વધારે. The patient will have difficulty in initiating or moving in lower limb compared to upper limb. Upper limb પણ affected હશે, પણ lower limb વધારે affected હશે in ACA. Remember this. Yes. Whenever you see a patient who is having trouble in walking but able to do activities with the upper limb, 99% chances are he will be having ACA occlusion. And incontinence, urinary incontinence will be there. Proximal occlusion, when both ACA arise from the same side, result in cerebral plagia with incontinence and presence of grasp and palmonatal reflexes. So neonatal reflexes, all palmonatal reflexes come back. Yes, our brain, if you've already gone through the pediatrics, we develop from reflexes, we become consciously, voluntarily controlling all the things. Say for example, palmar reflex, yes, which is present up to 3 to 4 months. Palmar reflex, whenever you push your hand on the ulnar side, whenever you give fingers to the baby, they will try to hold it. Yes, this is a reflex. Later on, the patient wants this reflex for you. Whenever you push your fingers on the proximal aspect of the ulnar border, you do not close reflexly, you do it voluntarily. Yes, એટલે કે પહેલા આપણી body હંમેશા reflexes ઉપર કામ કરે. From reflexes we learn the voluntary action. Same thing, if brain is damaged, those reflexes come back. Yes, because the brain has lost the ability to do something voluntarily, so reflexes again come back. May that be spinal reflexes or may that be brainstem reflexes. Yes, you have learned, I guess, or you will learn about which are the brainstem and which are the spinal cord level reflexes. So accordingly they come. So if both ACA are arising and are occluded, that will result in paraplegia. Yes, because why paraplegia? Paraplegia means affection of lower limbs, both the lower limbs. So both lower will be affected because ACA is involved. ACA is responsible for the motor area supplying the lower limbs. Yes, motor area which is responsible for voluntary action of lower limbs, with incontinence and presence of grasp and other neural reflexes. So all the reflexes from a neonate come back that are responsible for normal motion in a baby. Bilateral frontal lobe affection leads to akinetic mutism. Akinetic, A means no, kinetic or that means movement. So no movement is possible for the lower limbs. Yes, if bilateral frontal lobe is affected, which is supplied by ACA. You can see the supplying area of the ACA. Yes, so frontal lobe, part of the temporal lobe is also supplied by the ACA. Yes, so if both sides frontal lobe is affected, it will lead to akinetic mutism. Second, MCA occlusion. So clinical features depend on whether dominant or non-dominant hemisphere is affected. Contralateral hemiplegia and contralateral hemianesthesia. Upper limb is more affected than lower limb, and most of the times you will see in 60% or more patient MCA will be occluded. So they will have difficulty in upper limb activities compared to lower limb activities. કોઈ પણ આવા patient છે જેમાં તમે જુઓ કે lower limb, their walking is normal, almost normal, but they are not able to move their upper limb. They do not have voluntary control of the upper limb. That is a type of MCA occlusion. Aphasia will be there, dominant side if affected. Contralateral neglect and dressing difficulty, that is non-dominant. So now non-dominant, you can see here contralateral neglect, dressing difficulty. These are examples of perceptual disorders. Yes, so you can see the temporal region of supplied by the MCA. Yes, we have seen non-dominant side, if temporal lobe is affected, sorry, parietal lobe is affected, it will lead to perceptual disorders. Yes, so the same thing here, you can see the temporal and the parietal region being affected, supplied by the MCA. Only parietal branch affection leads to Wernicke's aphasia without limb weakness or sensory loss. So difficulty in speaking only if only and only parietal branch is affected of the MCA. Yes, middle cerebral artery, parietal branch is affected, that will lead to only Wernicke's aphasia, that is not aphasia. Yeah, so that is MCA occlusion. 99% patients you will see with upper limb deficits more compared to lower limbs, and this is the most common type of occlusion in stroke. Coming to vertebral artery occlusion, main arteries like ICA, anteriorly ICA supply કરે છે, posteriorly vertebral artery supply કરે છે, which form together to form the basilar artery. So when occlusion is low in the neck, that can be compensated by anastomotic channels. So vertebral arteries जो lower region में हसे, in the neck region, posteriorly we are speaking, yes, vertebral arteries in the posterior region. So lower region में हसे तो एना anastomosis through easily એ compensate થઈ જશે. એક artery block થશે તો બીજી easily એને supply કરી શકશે. When one artery is hypoplastic, occlusion of other artery, basilar artery occlusion. Hypoplastic, yes, decrease in plasticity. Plasticity is nothing else but normal elasticity. Yes, whenever the blood is flowing through any artery, it is exerting some amount of force on the arterial walls. That what we call blood pressure. Yes, તો હાઇપોપ્લાસ્ટિક હોય એટલે કે એને સહન ના કરી શકે છે, બ્લડ પ્રેશર આપે છે on the arterial walls. If the artery is not having normal structure, એ occlude થઈ જશે or it will burst open. Yes, and because of this there will be hemorrhage, so it will cause stroke. Now if this happens, occlusion of other artery can also be, that is termed as basilar artery occlusion. तो एक artery supply જ नहीं કરી શકે basilar artery ने, तो that will lead to basilar artery occlusion. Artery occlusion higher in the neck will lead to PICA syndrome, pica syndrome, that is also posterior intercerebral artery. Yes, so posteriorly intercerebral artery leads to various signs and symptoms, which are there we are going to discuss in detail in the pica syndrome in the slides following this. Yes, so lower region માં હશે vertebral artery occlude થશે તો easily anastomos થઈને compensate થઈ જશે, કાઈ signs and symptoms નહીં આવે. એક artery hypoplasia એટલે કે decrease in density or change in the normal structure of the artery will lead to bursting of that artery when the blood is passing through it, and that will lead to basilar artery occlusion. Artery occlusion in the neck leads to pica syndrome. Basilar artery occlusion, yes, what we talked about here, hypoplastic hase ek artery, that will lead to basilar artery occlusion. So what are the symptoms? Prodromal means initial symptoms, and complete basilar artery syndrome, that is completely આખી basilar artery ને blood supply નથી મળતું, તો શું symptoms આવશે? The first, prodromal or partial portion of the basilar artery is affected. This is the vertebral arteries which form together the basilar artery. So basilar artery affected હશે તો શું આવશે? Diplopia, visual field loss. Yes, so vision will be affected. Intermittent memory disturbances, memory will be affected. Always it is seen initially whenever the memory is affected in stroke, there will be short-term memory will be affected compared to long-term. Yes, remember this, short-term is first affected compared to the long-term memory. Vertigo will be there, the person will have feeling of dizziness, the whole surrounding is moving in a circular motion, that is vertigo. Ataxia, incoordination will be there. Paresis and paresthesia. Paresis, yes, plagia and paresis. Paresis means weakness, and paresthesia is nothing else but abnormal sensation of feeling of burning type of senses. Yes, in a specific upper limb, lower limb, or on the whole body along the course of the nerve. Complete basilar artery will lead to impaired consciousness, the patient will go into the coma. Yes, because basilar artery forms the main circulation. Basilar artery affect થઈ જાય તો આખા brain ને blood hamper થઈ જશે, and that will be termed as cerebral shock. Yes, initial first શું કરશે? brain shock. shock માં શું થાય? તમારા vital સિવાય બધા function બંધ, એટલે the patient will go into coma. Bilateral motor and sensory disturbances. So motor and sensory both will be affected bilaterally. Why bilaterally? Basilar artery is the forming major portion of the MCA SCA. Yes, and these are the communicating arteries. Yes, so accordingly both affect us. Yes, so bilateral affection will be there because the basilar artery supplies both. If basilar artery is hampered, both sides will be affected equally. Cerebellar signs will be there. Cerebellum is responsible for your balance, for your for your posture, and for your coordination. So abnormality, posture, impaired balance, and ataxia, as we already saw in the prodromal symptoms, will be present. And cranial nerve signs. Also, the basilar part supplies the midbrain portion and the brainstem portion. Majority of the cranial nerves originate from the brainstem portion. So brainstem is also affected. Nerves, cranial nerves will also be affected. In coma, almost all signs and symptoms will be negative, will not be there. All signs and symptoms will be there, options will be hampered. Top of basilar occlusion, so midbrain, thalamus, occiput and the medial temporal lobe infarction will be present. So if the top of the basilar here is affected, yes, somewhere here emboli અહીંયા ફસાઈ જશે, ઉપરનો પાર્ટ ખાલી ઓક્લુડ થશે, તો midbrain, thalamus, occipital lobe, medial temporal lobe will be affected. Yes, hemibellismus, which is an involuntary movement, involuntary jerky movement of the one half of the body. Yes, we are going to see what are the involuntary motion, but for now remember hemibellismus, involuntary motion. Involuntary means not in the conscious state or not in the control of a patient. Patient control na kari sake, jerky movement ave akha body ma. Yes, like it wants to throw away. That is hemibellismus. Visual loss will be there. Pupillary abnormalities will be there. There is eye affection will be there. Gaze palsy will be there, again related to the eye. Impaired consciousness and disturbance of behavior. Yes, so the behavior of an individual also changes. Cognition, a part of behavior is a part of cognition, so cognition also changes. Yes, we'll keep it till here. I guess if I go forward, so we'll just revise what we learned. Yes, so transient ischemic attack, the first thing, that is 24 hours ma sign and symptoms stroke na badha જ વયા જવા. Yes, because patient becomes in 24 hours, all the signs and symptoms are resolved. Yes, why does this happen? Because of the occlusion, because of the embolus, because of arrhythmia, because of decreased cardiac output, hypotension and subclavian artery or subclavian steal syndrome. Other main categories are major and deteriorating. Major means large amount of the brain is affected, there are severe impairments. And deteriorating stroke means patient once is in hospital, then also the signs and symptoms become worse over time. Yes, why does this happen? Because of the increase in the intracranial pressure. The only way to prevent or to reduce such deteriorating stroke is to do or go for craniotomy, remove a part of the skull. So normal thase intracranial pressure and such deteriorating signs and symptoms will become normal. Large vessel occlusion, first we described about the ICA. ICA itself is affected, that will lead to deterioration of consciousness level, consciousness will be affected. Hemianopia will be there, hemiplegia will be there, hemisensory disturbance, Horner syndrome, global aphasia and absent carotid pulse. Carotid pulse we palpate directly on the ICA, that is occluded, so ema pulse nahi ave. Initially when partially it is affected, the problem in the vision, yes, because the blood supply to the eye and blood supply to the optic nerve is affected, that is amaurosis fugax. Transient hemisensory hemimotor disturbance, outcome depends on the collateral blood supply. So opposite side ICA, if it is normal, it will supply partially the blood to the affected part of the brain, but completely it cannot. It depends on the blood pressure also. ACA occlusion, you need to remember proximal and distal part. Proximal is affected, it is well tolerated. Kai signs and symptoms nahi ave. Why? Because communicating arteries easily compensate for it from the opposite. If distal part is occluded, then lower limb will be affected more than upper limb, that is hemisensory and hemiplegia will be there, and urinary incontinence will be there. Proximal occlusion, when both ACA arise from the same side, result in cerebral paraplegia with incontinence and presence of grasp and other neonatal reflexes. If frontal lobe are affected bilaterally, akinetic mutism. MCA leads to first dominant or non-dominant, depending on that there will be features. If if upper limb is more affected than lower limb, majority of the times it will be MCA occlusion for hemiplegia and hemianesthesia. Hemi half part, anesthesia, that is loss of sensation. Aphasia, if dominant side is affected, non-dominant is affected, parietal lobe, non-dominant side leads to perceptual disorders, that is contralateral neglect, tracing difficulties. Only parietal branch affection leads to Wernicke's aphasia, yes, difficulty in speaking. Vertebral artery occlusion, when it is lower in the neck, when it is higher in the neck. So when it is lower in the neck, it is compensated by anastomosis, so no sign and symptom, same thing. Yes, like ACA માં આપણે જોયું, જો proximal part માં હશે તો એ well tolerated છે because of anastomosis or because of the communicating artery. Vertebral artery is same. It is compensated by anastomosis when it is lower in the neck. When it is away, when it is in that portion, it will lead to pica syndrome. And if the artery is hypoplastic, that is the normal properties of the artery, the arterial wall, je damage thai jase, because of higher blood pressure will lead to hemorrhage, and because of this one part will be occlusion of the artery, basilar artery occlusion. In basilar artery, saw two important things, prodromal and complete basilar syndrome. Prodromal means partially जो affect થશે તો diplopia, imminent memory disturbance, vertigo, ataxia, paresis, paresthesia. These will be affected. Completely जो basilar artery वही हो जाए, coma में भी जैसे patient first, second bilateral motor sensory disturbance, cerebellar sign, that is disturbance in balance, posture and coordination, and cranial nerve signs. Also, top of basilar occlusion if there, then will lead to midbrain, thalamus, occiput and medial temporal lobe affection. Hemibellismus, that is involuntary movement will be there. Visual loss will be there. Pupillary abnormalities, gaze palsy, impaired consciousness and disturbance of behavior. These all things will be present. Okay, fine. Any doubts till now? So far we have discussed. Yes or no? Everyone should reply in the chat. See, I try to keep it as simple as possible. When you are going to read the books, it will be some terminologies will be difficult. I try to put them directly in a normal language so that you can understand and you can remember. Yes. Similarly, I also use few terminologies which are present in the book and you will not get it. So I translate it during the lecture. So preferably have a book and a pen. All the things that you are not getting or you find these may be asked in exam or is difficult for you to understand, then you should write it at that time when I'm explaining. Yes, from the slides also, from directly when am I speaking during the lecture also, so that it in the future you will remember the lecture. Yes, for 2 or 3 days your immediate recall is very good, your short-term memory will be good, but long-term memory, after 3 months when I ask you what is this, at that time you will not be able to grasp. Yes, because your short-term memory has not converted to long-term memory, your hippocampus is not working very efficiently. Then your books will help you, whatever notes you take during the lecture will help you. No doubt I will give you the presentation, but in presentation also you will not remember what I had explained. Yes, so for that reason it is more important for you to go through all the slides that we have discussed whenever completing the lecture. So say for example in the next lecture we'll be completing the categories of the stroke that we have started today. So once I share it with you, go through the slides again, see for the words that you have not got, ask me later on. That only will help you in the exams more efficiently. Yes, okay, fine. Puru, have you taken the attendance?
Yes, sir.
Okay, fine. So we'll keep it till here. We'll meet again in the next lecture and complete the categories of the stroke. Only 3 to 4 major categories are remaining, and then we'll start the management, medical and surgical management of stroke. Yes. Okay. Fine. Okay. Hope you have a good day. Okay. Okay. 1 second. Amaurosis fugax, meaning yes. So the same term, that was an important term I wished anyone could have asked, did not get it. So amaurosis fugax is nothing but when there is decreased blood supply to one or both the eyes or the optic nerve. Decrease in blood supply to one or both the eyes or the optic nerve, which leads to difficulty in vision, is amaurosis fugax. Yes, so I guess everyone is clear about it. Okay, done. Fine. So we'll conclude here. Hope you have a good day. Be safe.
Thank you, sir.